Welcome to the 2021 Breakfast of the Bishop. This year, like most things, we are virtual. We are celebrating, however, Catholic schools. Our goal has always been to grow the Catholic School Scholarship Fund. That fund actually helps all the schools, all the Catholic grade schools throughout the diocese. This year, we will be sending out over $50,000 in scholarships. Over the past number of years, over the last 8 years, we have sent out over $300,000 worth of Catholic school scholarships. These go to all the schools throughout the diocese, and it's really funded from the help of people like you. We are also sending out a letter campaign, so you'll receive a letter. You might receive an email that you can pay now, you can donate now. Any of these options are available to you to help Catholic schools. Our goal is to help grow all Catholic school scholarships throughout the diocese. Each school may have their own fund, and we're trying to grow those. If you have any questions on estate planning, any questions on how you can help grow these funds beyond this event, please contact us at the Catholic Foundation. Welcome to the Breakfast for the Bishop 2021.
Well, good morning to you.
Good morning, Molly.
So my name is Molly Wyrens, and I am Pastoral Associate at Christ Our Light in Princeton and Zimmerman, and have been supporting this breakfast since we started it, and thanks so much for your good support with that.
Sure. One of the things that I've always looked forward to.
It's good. I always call it the diocesan's largest breakfast because a whole bunch of people from the diocese are there, and we're sad we can't be together, but this is the next best thing.
Yep.
Good place to be. So we have a number of questions we thought we'd ask just to kind of get some more input from you as you head out, hopefully soon. Not that we want to see you go, but we know that you want to also take that next step.
For my retirement, yes.
Yes. So very excited for your next step with retirement. So just looking at, thinking over your life and the ways that you grew up, just thinking about your growing up early on, what is it that shaped you spiritually, would you say, the most?
My family was essential to this. That faith, church attendance, going to Mass, that was just a given. Mm-hmm. We did it every week, and I was the oldest of 4 kids, and we just got passed on to us, and that's something we did. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the opportunity to be an altar boy, a Mass server, and I did that. And also, I've always enjoyed singing, and so I was in various choirs in the school and the church and so on. So I did that over the years as well.
Yeah. How did you end up being at St. John's? How was that decision made?
Sioux Falls. I'm from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. South Dakota doesn't have a seminary, and so I went to Crozier for 2 years, the first 2 years of college.
Okay.
And then I went to St. John's for the last 6 years of seminary. And it was because we didn't have a seminary. I was expecting to go to St. Paul's Seminary, but there was somebody else, another seminarian from South Dakota, who not only wanted to get a degree in philosophy, which we had to do, but he was a bright guy, and he wanted to get his degree also in math.
Okay.
And so he couldn't do that at St. Paul's Seminary. And so he must have asked the bishop, could he go to St. John's? And I don't think the bishop wanted to send just one person to the seminary there. Okay. So he sent me along and we had some of our people at the seminary before that too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. How about just in terms of moving forward then from maybe seminary on, who have been a couple of influential people in your life in terms of your formation?
You know, the bishops that I've had or worked with, particularly Bishop Paul Dudley. He was a priest from Twin Cities, and then he became the bishop in Sioux Falls, my hometown, where I was a priest for 30 years. And he influenced me a lot. He had an appreciation for renewal programs, things like tech and rec and all those kinds of things. He
Yeah.
really liked those, and that influenced my ministry. And then he had me get a canon law degree, a church law degree, so I worked with the marriage tribunal and so on in Sioux Falls because of that.
Okay.
So he probably would be one of the most influential ones, separate from some priest friends, some other friends, and some family members, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And family, siblings still living?
All of them. There's 4 of us.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest of 4.
Okay.
My brother's next, and then 2 sisters. We're only 5 years apart, the 4 of us, so we're all old, but we're all alive and all doing pretty well yet.
Good. And are they living in the Midwest area?
Yes, one lives in Sturgis. I tell people that she sells motorcycles,
Oh,
and she says I do not. There's a large VA hospital there in
Okay.
Sturgis, and her husband worked with that as administration for VA, so that's why they ended up there. I have a brother that's in Denver, and another sister that's living in Athens, Georgia.
oh, okay.
Her, she's got some of her kids. 2 of them are twins, and
Okay.
one is a college professor at the University of South Dakota, and the other one is a college professor at University of Georgia.
Oh, wow.
And so my sister and her husband moved down to Georgia to get away from the snow, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and also to be close to the family. They have family.
Got it. As opposed to you who went to Alaska and Minnesota.
Then I came back. Yes.
Loving the snow and the cold and the good people. As you think to a new bishop coming in, what advice would you give that new bishop in terms of serving in this diocese?
I would want him to know that this is a good diocese, good people, good clergy, and so on, first of all, for him to know that. But also, since if he's a brand new bishop, there's a lot of challenges nowadays in the world, in the church, and for him not to panic and not to feel that you're going to have to change the world overnight. Just relax, enjoy the people, pray a lot, do your work as best you can, and things will move along.
Yeah, good. Thinking of your legacy here, what do you think the legacy is that you've left on this diocese?
You know, I've thought about that when you leave,
Yeah.
when you're planning to leave and
Yeah.
going into retirement. You know, it was important for me, that our diocese was in bankruptcy because of the sexual abuse situation. And the focus ought to be on that, not on healing the people that were hurt.
Right.
That's the number one thing. But then also there was financial issues, and I was really pleased that I could get that settled while
Yeah.
I was here.
Yeah.
I also like to see schools and parishes work together more. And so I've tried to work on where we can consolidate and work together as schools, and also parishes could work together. Our area Catholic communities,
Yeah.
for example, in the parishes. So that was really important. Those are some of the important things. And then also the church is changing nowadays, complexion of it.
Yeah.
It's going to become more and more Latino, Spanish-speaking people. I think I've heard that in the next generation or so, half of the Catholic people in the United States will be half of the people in the United States will be Latino.
Right.
And so we have to be accommodating, welcoming, adjusting,
Yeah.
growing, and so on. So that's been an important issue for me as well.
Yep, good ones for sure. And then what has been the imprint of the people of the diocese on you?
You know, the faith of the people is really, you just got to see that they're not just Catholics in name, that they participate, they got faith. I don't always agree with them,
Right.
for sure,
Yeah.
but they got the faith. They've got relationships with God. They work on it. They're concerned about that. They work toward it, and to see that commitment on their part is really strong and helpful for me.
You were taught by the Cincinnati Dominican sisters when you were in grade school. What impact did their formation have on you?
You know, of course, that's the way Catholic schools were. All the Catholic schools had nuns, and that was certainly the case in Sioux Falls. I remember I lived in the Cathedral Parish in Sioux Falls, a big parish, and we probably had 35 sisters teaching in our grade school and high school. We had high school there too. And their faith, again, their Catholicism that they shared, their willingness to give up their lives to teaching, you know, and I don't even remember them doing anything but their teaching, you know, that was pretty focused on just being school teachers.
Right.
And they would go home in the summertime. They would leave, a lot of them, or all of them would leave in the summertime. They'd go home and you know, maybe rest a little bit, but most of the time what they were doing is they go home and they go back to school and learn some more. And they would share that with you.
Yeah.
The Dominican sisters had a real commitment and to education and to their own education, and then to share that with the kids. I went then with them through the 8 years of grade school.
Yeah. Well, and we're just so lucky here too to have the communities of religious here in our diocese so rich, you know.
And that's why I've learned to appreciate those, the Franciscans, the Dominicans, the Benedictines here, and so on, Poor Clares, because of the experiences I've had with other sisters.
Right. What do you most look forward to in retirement?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know what I'm getting into. So what am I looking forward to? I'd like to do some things I haven't been able to do. I like to travel a little bit more. I'm a big fan of Broadway musicals, big fan. And so would I be able to, a couple times a year, maybe go to Chicago or Minneapolis or New York and see some of those? I'd like to do that. I'd like to see some people that I haven't seen very much, spend some more time with family.
Good. Maybe join a choir?
Probably not. No, that's too regimented. You got to show up every week. I like the idea of my own schedule.
Yeah, that'll be a great thing. What is your greatest hope for the Diocese of St. Cloud?
You know, I worry about secularization taking place in our world and in our country and in our diocese. People are just losing a connection with God or an interest in even knowing about God. And my biggest hope would be that could be reversed and that people will recognize the importance of that relationship. We've got to have that. We can't just have everything with other people, which is important, but we got to have the transcendent part up and down with God. And I hope that somehow we can do better with all of that going forward.
Yeah, and you know, just in light of that, there was this Gallup poll that just came out this week saying 40% of people aren't in churches. So what, you know, just thinking about the Catholic Church, what is your hope for
even
that?
the Catholic Church is only, we were down to only about a quarter of our people were going to Mass regularly in our diocese. So we, you know, I'd like to change that. I think, despite everything, the coronavirus maybe helped us a little bit because maybe we showed people that haven't been going to church a little bit about what we have to offer through our live streaming and so on. So I hope maybe that's happened a little bit. And then just to keep making a concerted effort to reach out and welcome people and to do this one-on-one. I think we got to do that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your favorite subject in school?
Probably history. Not so much learning about a lot of events, but seeing trends in countries and areas and principles of things that were happening and why they had the effect on our world and our society as they did. That's the part I like, because I would forget half of what I learned about events, but I could remember why some of these things happened and to understand that and then to learn from that going forward. I think that's what I enjoyed most. And then when the tests came along, you know, I was not that anxious about, well, tell me all these events that happened in this place. I'd forget half of them, I think. But I understood why some things happened, and that's the part I like best.
Yeah. What has been your favorite thing about being bishop? Or maybe a few things.
Oh, it's almost anything that you do in a liturgy or another gathering, when you gather with other people. and get to know them and stuff. It's the people connection that's by far the best. And then as a bishop, you get the opportunity to do some things that priests don't do, like ordinations to the priesthood, the diaconate, confirmations like I'm doing now. So that opportunity gives you a chance to do some nice liturgical things and experience how they feel about this. You know, you don't see, when you do these things, you don't see people saying, oh, I got to put up with this and do it. No, I see interest and enthusiasm about these things. People want these in some form. Maybe we don't know always how much we should appreciate them,
Right.
but I see that, and I like that.
So thinking to your years here, are there a couple of just kind of poignant or memorable events that you think just kind of stand out?
Yeah, that's a good question. I again, ordinations that I've been able to do. There's been some anniversaries of parishes, some 150 years. Those are exciting because you have an opportunity to see pictures of what's happened, and they'll probably have a directory, a new picture book. You're looking through that. I think that kind of thing was good. I'm a sports addict, and going to football games at St. John's is pretty high on my list, and I was able to always, as much as possible, do that too.
Good. Yeah. And I'm thinking, you've had several of them visits to Rome with the Pope. So how many popes have you been able to meet?
I've had a limited visits with Pope John Paul II, with Pope Benedict, and with Pope Francis. So with 3 popes.
Okay. And what were those experiences like?
Well, you know, to meet the Pope was the highlight.
Yeah.
Just to be near him, who he is, what he represents, how he goes back to Peter, all those kinds of things. Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I recall a couple events where I met the Pope for something one day, came back the next day, and the Pope, this especially John Paul II, he'd see me and he'd say, oh, you're the Vicar General in Sioux Falls. And he had already seen hundreds of people, and he remembered that. Wow, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And so, as meeting the Holy Fathers, we have masses at the major churches, the 4 major churches in the Rome. We do that each time we go, and it's just our group. So it would be the province, the bishops for us here, it would be the bishops of North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. We do that together, and then we would meet with the various offices. Okay. That was always a little bit uneven, but could be really exciting, meeting the people that are helping the Pope lead the church. And so I liked it better when they would listen to us and not tell us what they think we ought to be thinking about. I always appreciated that more, with that listening part that they would have.
Yeah.
And so that was exciting for me too.
Yeah. Because wasn't there always kind of that listening session each time?
You would, there's 30 offices, so you can't get to all of them.
Yeah.
You take a week for that, and you do 2 or 3 a day. So you might do 10, 12 of them.
Yep.
You get to pick. There's certain ones you have to go to, but then you get to pick. And so you hope that you got to go to the places that really had something to do with your work in your diocese.
Yeah,
So you hope
right.
that. But oftentimes you did. Sometimes it didn't go the best.
Yeah.
We would spend an hour and a half with them.
Okay.
The leadership of that office would be there. You could ask them questions, which is what I really like better, for them just to sit there and talk to us.
Right.
But they'd listen to you. You could ask questions, they would respond. They ask of you, well, what's going on in your life, in your diocese? Because they were interested. You sent to them a large document that they would take apart and give to all the offices.
Okay.
This report, it was over 100 pages long, reporting to various questions that they were interested in about the diocese. So they got that in advance. I think in almost all cases, they read what you wrote, and if they wanted clarifications or whatever, you had that chance. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Fun. What is it that you see, just thinking about Catholic education, what do you see for the future of Catholic education?
We have to, a Catholic school cannot be all up on its own. And it cannot be, I don't think, even just with a parish. I think Catholic schools going forward have to be able to cooperate with each other so that in an area we can offer good Catholic theology, good Catholic teaching. We can share faculty, share curriculum, share issues, learn from each other. So I guess the biggest thing for Catholic education now, I would think, is a model that is different, not based only on single parish school in a parish, but rather that they work together. The benefits. So I think that's probably the thing. I'm concerned about getting enough of our young people to go to a Catholic school. That's helpful.
Yeah.
But then, of course, there's always the finances, which is difficult and challenging. So I hope that going forward we'll find ways like this.
Yeah, right.
Find ways to allow people to cover their costs so that more people can go.
Yeah, yeah, and then, now is that, kind of that push and that pull of having a parish school, and if not all the parishioners have their kids there, sometimes it is hard to get that support from everybody.
Yes.
You know, so any ideas in terms of how to make, that happen a little bit more so we're all supporting?
Well, for sure,
education?
finding scholarships and so on, so that somebody who wants to come
Yeah.
will be able to. That's important. Teachers and faculties and principals have got to keep learning what education is like today and be kept up to speed doing
Yeah.
those things so that they're good teachers. We got to do that. We want the Catholic schools only exists because we want to share our faith and the Catholic Church and the teachings and the activities of the Church with the people that are in our schools, so that they will lead us going forward. So anything that we can do in that regard to enhance how we teach,
Yeah.
the engagement of people. I love it when I see somebody says, I was a product of that school or that college or that
Yeah.
grade school, and that means that it's had some impact on them, and that we have to have.
Yeah, absolutely. What message would you like to send to the teachers and staffs of Catholic schools?
Keep learning.
Yep.
Keep studying. Do your part. You're not done. You don't have it got all together yet yourself. Do your part so that you're becoming even a better teacher.
Yep.
I say that not only to teachers. I say it to priests and to myself.
Yep.
That you have to keep at it, and be willing to learn and listen and to change, because things change. You know.
Yeah. And how about parents? What do you want to say to parents?
Well,
about kiddos?
they got to be engaged. They are the first teachers
Yep.
of their kids.
Yeah.
And so you got to be connected with the education of your children. And hopefully the schools will help you with that.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes there's always a challenge. What about if a school or a class is not quite teaching what parents want? Well, don't give up. Don't put your kids out, but rather find a way that you can communicate and talk and express your concerns with the principal, the teachers, and so on, and talk about those things. May not get agreement on everything, but I think we might be able to do more.
But that dialogue's important.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. What do you think is one of the most important things we can teach students today?
Well, I started off talking about this secularization. So I guess the most important thing is that it's important to have a connectedness with the transcendent, with God.
Yeah.
And so on. In the church, of course, we've got, connection with Jesus, the Trinity, and all those kinds of things. We've got the church. So, that's some of the important stuff that we need. But I want our people to be mature and happy people. So we got to do anything with them to help them mature and find purpose in their life and so on,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Well, the final piece is something called Rapid Fire 10. So
Okay.
these are just questions, usually like one-word answers.
Try to.
Some of them are fun, some
Okay.
of them are serious. So are you ready to take on the challenge?
Sure.
All right. First one, favorite liturgical season?
Easter.
Nice answer. Favorite sport team?
Minnesota Vikings.
And favorite sport?
Football.
It is. Okay. Okay. Something happens to you that's a bit stressful. You're not sure how to respond. What's the first thing you do?
Think about who I might be able to visit with this about, and especially if they might know something more about it than I do. So I look forward to a opportunity. This is more than one word.
I know. I was going to say, you're breaking the rules.
But anyway.
That's good, yeah.
But that kind of thing.
Yeah. Best way you like to spend your day off?
If it's warmer out, I like to do something outside. I do play golf.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like to be outside. If I can be closer to a river or water, that's nice. I like that.
Good Minnesota answer.
That's about 8 words.
I know. Jeez. What word comes to mind when you hear the word justice?
Equality, equal, fairness.
You're getting better. Good job. What song would be at the top of your playlist?
I like musicals. I guess something from Les Miserables might be top of my list.
Oh, yep. Great.
Coming home, is it? Going home? What is it? I think.
I know. I'm trying to think of that. We should. Oh, I have that out, running through my head right now. Can't think of it. What are 2 books on your nightstand right now?
I'm reading a book on learning to pray, so I'm still working on that. And I just bought a book. Can't even tell you the name. I just bought it about the impact of real big industries and businesses are having on society, not always positively.
Right.
There's a new book out on that, and I got
Okay.
that. That's sitting there, but I haven't started it yet.
Got it. Good. Well, you'll have more time, hopefully, to
Yep.
read some books.
Yep.
You get a free ticket to a movie. What genre would you want to see?
Action.
By all.
I like action movies, or if it happens to be a musical of some sort,
yeah.
I'd go to those.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. What's one of your favorite musicals?
Well, Les Miserables would
Yeah.
be the classical ones. I don't know the ones nowadays
Newer ones,
as
yeah.
much. I know the old ones. And then, of course, I have Sirius Radio in my car. And 72, Channel 72 is Broadway.
There you go. That's what you're turned to usually,
That's
huh?
where I'm at.
What are 3 important qualities a bishop should have?
He's got to be happy. You got to enjoy what you're doing. You got to have some patience, and you got to be able to deal with a temptation not to deal with stuff because it's only going to be kind of painful sometimes.
Right.
And you gotta be able to do that. Dig in with it. Yeah. I don't know if that's 3 or not, but
I think we're good. Favorite diocesan fish fry?
oh, that's not fair.
I know. I was gonna say. Oh boy.
Well, I'd hate to. I'm going to get in trouble, but St. Paul's bakes their fish. Well, that put it on the top.
Okay.
I love the fish fries.
I know, it is.
But I like the baked.
Yeah.
I like baked fish best. I must say.
Yep. There you go. That's what happens. Well, thank you so much for
Sure,
your
you're
time,
welcome.
and thanks for your just dedication to Catholic
Sure, and I
schools.
enjoy doing this.
Hi, I'm Maria Hyman-Specker, principal at Holy Family School in Albany. I learned about the breakfast with the bishop through our diocesan circle of principals, and it was promoted, and we were invited to come to the very first event, and I've gone ever since. This is the 8th year for this event, and I'm happy to be a part of it. The Catholic Foundation has supported Catholic education from from its conception, and it has supported all 26 of our schools in the Diocese of St. Cloud. And most importantly, your donation helps support Catholic education. And how that is it has a specific scholarship called the Catholic School Scholarship that it benefits children in our elementary schools through 8th grade. And parents apply for those who feel that they are in need and who can benefit from this great support of tuition assistance. If you know of a family who has an interest or curiosity about Catholic education, that is an opportunity for you to spark a conversation with them and encourage them to check out their area Catholic school and know that there are great benefits in receiving scholarship support to aid in your child's tuition. This year alone, the Catholic Foundation will be awarding over $50,000 in student scholarships. Through your contributions, you can help make Catholic education affordable. So we invite you to be a part of this great cause.
Thank you, Maria. I just want to remind people that there are multiple ways to give. If you're coming in through the website, there's a Donate Now on the website. Otherwise, most of you should have received a letter from the Catholic Foundation with a remittance slip. It's an excellent way to give. Mail in your donations. You can choose what endowment you want it to go to. So I'd just like to start to thank people for this day. I'd especially like to thank Molly and Bishop Kettler. I'd like to thank Maria. I'd also like to thank Alice and Jill from the Catholic Foundation. I'd especially like to thank Anderson Hughes Productions for putting this piece together today. Thank you. Have a good breakfast.
Hi, my name is Tia Ward. I'm in 4th grade, and what I like about this school is that all my friends go here, and I love reading class, art class, and they have great teachers. I love it here because it's super amazing, and they have really good friends, and everyone's so nice here, and they have a bunch of fun activities for us. I love St. Gwendolyn's School because people never exclude people, and because my dad went there, my Aunt Amy, my cousin Natalie, my godfather, Uncle Adam, and my sister's godfather, Uncle Lance. And I also like St. Gwendolyn's School because, what was that other word? Because it's a Catholic school.